The emerging economies are playing a critical role when it comes to energy transition. In fact, 80% of the growing demand is in the emerging economies. The challenge is that 90% of the investment, if you look at the last 5 years, really went more in the advanced economies and China. So here is the challenge we face, where growing demand is not matched by growing investment in emerging economies. China has moved dramatically in the index. Now China ranked 12 in the overall ranking and is also within the 5 top countries when it comes to the readiness, so to be ready to accelerate the transition in the coming year. A lot of the investment in clean energy, 40%, are going into China. So we really see a great progress and also a great outlook on the China energy transition. India is a very, very important country when it comes to energy transition and the energy demand growth, and it's encouraging to see the progress that have been done in the last year and in the last few years when it comes to energy equity, but also energy efficiency and strong regulation put in place that is giving us a positive outlook on what will happen in India in the coming years. Nigeria, as we all know, is the most populous country in Africa, and is also encouraging to see that in the last decade have effectively progressed from being 109 in our benchmarking 10 years ago to 61 now. There have been consistent and steady progress when it comes to clean cooking, but also infrastructure and investment in clean energy. Brazil is the best ranking country in Latin America and is the 15th around the world, so a very, very good ranking. This is thanks to improved in energy equity and also good and growing investment in clean energy. The investment in clean energy have been about 2 trillion in the last year, and this is very good, but not good enough. We need 5.6 trillion according to some calculation, and this is a big gap, and this gap is mainly in emerging economies, where, with the exception of China, where a lot of investment is going, they are lacking of investment. So it's really important that going forward, more investment are coming in emerging economy, because that is where the biggest part of the demand will come from.
At this moment, heavy industry is relying on oil and gas to produce the daily products that we are using. And that's exactly what we want to tackle with Decarbon. We want to promote CO2 as new feedstock for chemical and petrochemical industry. But CO2 is a very inert material, and with the technology that we developed at Decarbon, we can make this inert molecule active again, so that industry can start utilizing CO2 instead of treating it as waste.
Ethylene is the world's most used petrochemical. It's used in pretty much all everyday products, from plastics to textile fibers to construction materials. And today it's made through a high temperature, highly emitting process, releasing hundreds of million tons of CO2 per year in the atmosphere. And so at Dioxycle, we have invented a novel process to make ethylene, not from fossil fuels, but using recycled carbon emission, water, and renewable electricity. And that way, we can abate the equivalent of 1 to 2% of the world's emission. The main opportunity and incredible opportunity that Uplink helped us with is really allowing us to enter an ecosystem of champions, if I can say that, with industrial partners who are both extremely pragmatic, but also already convinced and already committed to the fact that fighting climate change is their number one priority.
The ocean produces 50% of the global oxygen in the planet. It's not exactly 50% of what we breathe, that's important. It's 50% of what all life breathes in the planet. And it also absorbs 90% of excess heat. So it is extremely important for our life support systems. Prince of Ocean Action is a network of key champions from around the world that come from industry, from government, from civil society, and even individual people that have just left a huge mark on how we think about the ocean. And by bringing them together, what we have been able to do is to create that space at the highest level to position the ocean as a key priority.